off of the taxpayers' back. This is Grums highlighting. This is Rachel Kuert, which I think we'll cover a study that she's doing today. But, this is a DEI professor. DEI professor who's quietly raised millions of dollars in the past week, capitalizing the Sweet Baby Inc. controversy. So let's see. DHS funded Take This, officially calls it Gamergate 2 and calls it harassment campaigns. It's happening. And then Motherboard DHS, Department of Homeland Security, spent almost $700,000 to investigate radicalization in gaming. And this is where the money's at. It guarantees that the program focuses on right-wing extremism. And the monitoring and evaluation of extremist activities, extreme exploitation in gaming spaces, lore developers, mechanics, and device, trust and safety professionals. According to the DHS, yeah. So everybody gets your money at work here to try to prove that you're an extremist, essentially. Try and find these extremist groups online that further prove that the games you're playing are radicalizing these youths and right-wing youths. It's important to say that because it's clearly focused on one side of it, not the other. Responding to Gamergate 2. This is Take This. This is the thing they mentioned. If you're reading this, you're probably hearing about what is called Gamergate 2. It's a latest target harassment campaign within the game industry that's aimed at Sweet Baby. Again, I don't think they're going to mention the fact that Felix and Chris Kindred, employees at Sweet Baby, tried to get this guy doxxed and his stuff removed, and then mentioned Discord, Steam, and prominent platforms where abuse, harassment has been taking place. Again, this is such dishonest language. It's just giving people the ability to interact with each other. And, of course, it being somewhat anonymous, guess what ends up happening? Not all of it is going to be great. And then outline entire spectrum of typology, extremism, and dark participation. That's Rachel Cowert's little contributions of the lexicon is dark participation. Which I think we're going to go over at some point. And then for everyone, it's important to speak out and take steps. Folks who are being harmed, and then people marginalized can often have some tools. You got to have tools. Large volume campaign is still relevant. Games hotline website, digital safety guide. And then, we need to have studies. We need to have committees. We need to have commissions. We need money, essentially. Just give us money so we can do this stuff. A note our resource empowering the game industry. A major lesson learned from Gamergate was the importance of taking a loud public stance. At the time, many studios were hesitant to address the abuse from Gamergate in a meaningful way. Reasons varied, but the hesitation was born out of fear of losing profits and considered taking a stance would attract attention of the Gamergate mob. Oh no. Insulting our customers might lose us revenue. That's crazy. Let's move on. This is Take This again. Kind of connected to that Rachel Cohort. This is another woman. That's the other thing. The other thing about this is, Rachel, Constance. A lot of these are women and surprisingly focused on turning men's spaces, saying, men's spaces are rude and extremist, and then kind of working with video game companies to make them worse, actively trying to make them worse for the men. I've been watching actually a lot of videos of hers, and it's nothing ridiculously sounding, but insidious nonetheless. A person that understands that games are sort of like a men's play space, and hates the fact that it is. Understands it's sort of like the third place was what she defines it as, which, sort of like it's not work, it's not the home, it's kind of like, a place to hang out. And she's actively working to make that worse for people that enjoy it. The majority of people that enjoy it, which are men. And this is here where she's calling that, governor signed in a sweeping law demanding transparency among social media platforms, to combat extremism, hate speech, extremism, disinformation campaigns, harassment. It's disinformation campaigns, essentially speech the government doesn't want and all of it, focused on right wing speech, essentially trying to sort of subvert the First Amendment. And then she's arguing that, online games should be included in these new regulations. We need to regulate them. We need to ban you from, League of Legends for talking about COVID. Who knows what exactly this leads to? But, we need to basically have regulations where, and look, she mentions Rachel Cohort again. So we need regulations that front lines of these games. She mentions a bunch of women that she works with to regulate games. Yeah, that's exactly what men want. They want more regulations in their video games. Overdue relief, setting up this means finally get their hands on reliable industry data and the real nature and extents of the problems of toxicity, extremism, and online games. It's because they don't have any real data. It's all bullshit surveys right now. So they're hoping they can, sift through this and do exactly what they always do, which is take very isolated incidents and blow them up to further get more data, more money for their grants and their studies and their commissions, all of it. And then this is, again, Rachel Cohort, the person that we were talking about earlier that's getting all this money. She tries to coin this. I guess is another way you sort of make a lot of cash or, get your name out there. You need to basically what this does is I guess one of the things where you coin a phrase, it's got to be a phrase, toxicity. I don't know who coined that, but they didn't do a good job attaching the name to it. But, you can sort of get that part of the lexicon, then you'll be the name that's referenced when that comes up. So it's really, really good marketing for these professional hacks. So her little thing is dark participation. That's essentially what that means is, if you're a gamer that doesn't play exactly the way that's socially acceptable, if you try and, test the lines here, bend the rules or she quotes Brianna Wu. That's how you know it's good. If you, don't play nice, then you're a dark participant. And then it goes into like environmental, communal factors. All of this is pretty boring stuff where they're just quoting each other's, citing each other's papers. There's also the idea that games are a boy's toy. And toxicity stems from the idea that games are being infiltrated by anyone who doesn't fit this mold. Right? Hiding tension and lead to harassment of others, a way that makes them leave the space, so to say. If only that was true. It is a boy's toy, by the way. Most of them are. Individual motivations and perpetrators, and then and it just goes on to talk toxicity, trolling, harassment, and then it kind of, I think at some point they list all the behaviors which are very expansive, from trash talking to hate speech, sexual harassment. Oh my God. And then it's like doxing and swatting, that kind of stuff. So try to cover every little thing that they can to all things. Again, swatting, yeah, that's very common in video games. And then you have this place like Fair Play Alliance. I don't know if this was recent, but this is another crazy where it's like video games are helping people create criminal behavior. Youth criminal economy is a serious issue. Yes, they're learning to be criminals in these games. It's like prison. They're becoming criminals as they learn to DDoS and hack. Hacksaw is the mainframe. It's we need to study this. We need to help these kids, take them away from their hacking ways and put them on the right path. Again, I don't know how much money they get from these. I don't know how much money they get for these to make these studies, or where they get the funding. But there's always places like the Gates Foundation and that kind of stuff. Always a grant out there that they can get. And then this is another thing that I think they linked to in this ADL article. I got all these from this ADL article where they're constantly referencing each other, constantly trying to make sure that they look out for each other. And I read through most of this report. It's boring, but it is incredibly awful, where it just constantly takes these incidents where it's like Russian operative seeks to infiltrate succession in Discord group made of people who play Minecraft. Look out. The Russians. They're trying to infiltrate Minecraft. It'll go on to mention New Zealand. It'll mention these. The Christchurch shooter shares links for the manifesto trial the Great Replacement. He sardonically credited Spyro Yura the Dragon for teaching him ethno-nationalism. And, of course, Fortnite for training me to be a killer. This is, serious stuff. I'm sure he was really serious when he said that. Spyro is what radicalized me. And then echoed, they'll mention another one at Walmart. I'll talk about Call of Duty. And then some sort of German Twitch, mentions Twitch. Essentially like, hey, let's take a mass shooter. Let's link them tenuously to a video game and say that the video game was the cause with the most loose connections. Like I said, it's Jack Thompson all over again with this stuff, right? Except, they're, I guess, maybe doing a bit better job at it than Jack did, rather than just being like one guy that sort of like goes out into the news and becomes the talking head. They essentially just do this and get government grants to help fund their lazy and garbage science. Get congressional hearings so people can sound kind of professional while they're talking about why this is totally a problem. And they'll just do this constantly through it. Like, I'm sure I can find something here. Let's see. And they'll this radicalization funnel. Ah, yes. By the case of 2 German children under the age of who were radicalized by far-right communities in online video games between documented German state police and other researchers established a friendship with an older gamer of Roblox. Oh my God. Far-right Discord. Nazi party. Did they do something? Or no? They just radicalized them. Oh my gosh. One kid had a Nazi Roblox thing. So we got to do some research here. Harassment, and they'll come up with grass. Were you harassed? Yeah, 42%. Extremists Guild, the leader of the KK Guild in World of Warcraft. Oh boy, Jesse Jackson. What the hell? Oh boy. You see that Roblox? User built Nazi village on Roblox. Oh, this Singapore kid made Nazi propaganda and got arrested in Roblox. He didn't I don't think he actually killed anybody. He just got arrested for this stuff. And this is what they do the entire time. Here's this incident of this one kid doing something. And video games are kind of related. So, video games are the problem. We need to do something about it. We need more monitoring. We need more commissions. We need more studies. We need more money. We need more money to address this very important issue. I'm not going to go over riots crap, but player dynamics. I'll have to look more into player dynamics. I don't want to talk about this stuff anymore. It's so much garbage. But this is the thing. Like, people want to talk about Gamergate. Oh, the sweet baby. They're making money to make games worse. No one really goes. I don't think none of attention is played to the. I guess a lot of it's boring as hell, probably. To this kind of stuff. Where's keywords? Dark participation. Again, they show up. I wonder if that'll actually take hold. Oh, because it's racial code is culturally justified hate, prevalence and mental health impact of dark participation in games. And this is going over how read harassed in games, it makes me feel bad. Therefore, mental health impact. That's making kids suicidal. ADL, of course, the ADL. And who's funding this stuff? Oh, they get to go to Hawaii for this too. You got a free trip to Hawaii. That's got to be pretty nice for them. Very nice. Elizabeth Kilmore. It's always these research things are always 2 women and a guy, almost all the time. It's pretty funny. But like I said, this probably doesn't get studied enough. And I'm hoping I can get more time to look into this. But right now, I just haven't had time to look into it and present something that's kind of compelling. But this is what's kind of going on over the surface. And this is under the surface, and it kind of comes out later in the form of these like journalist articles and stuff. It's, funding by your money. Like if you're a taxpayer, American taxpayer, or like a Canadian taxpayer, it's your money that's going into this. So like you're working at your job, you're, taking a break, play some video games, hard day at work. This is what you do to relax. And then these people are taking that taxpayer money that's being taken out of your paycheck to make your video game experience worse. Because, hey, yeah, bad day. You want to cut loose. Got to yell in your game. Like, what are you doing? Damn it. Yeah, something bad, maybe. A little, or like, a little bit, asocial. Well, they want to try and get you banned from this or reported or who knows. You can't cut loose anywhere. There's no place. You got to go in. You got to work your ass off. You got to, be respectful while you're doing that because you're surrounded by women or customers and can't have anything wrong there. Come home, play your video game. Again, no way to cut loose. You cannot be angry. You cannot rage. You'll get banned. You'll be toxic. You're a dark participant. If you get upset while playing your competitive game, that can't happen. Cannot happen. So at every point, the shackles continue to tighten on you.